Well, it's me, yeah. And not just me. It's Joyce, just talking, just singing. And right now, look who I have in studio. I have Jennifer Herbert. Welcome, Jennifer, to the Shays Lounge.
Thank you.
So we're coming straight to you from the Shays Lounge. Properly distanced, of course, and
Yes.
double vaccinated. Anyway, yeah, so Jennifer Herbert, for those of you who know her, and you will get to know her, is a wonderful artist, illustrator, poet, and also a lyricist for two songs that are out there right now on YouTube. That's
Woo!
confirmation. Yeah, there you go. Beep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we met in the
Mhm.
neighborhood. Who are the people in your neighborhood? This is one of them, and we got together and collaborated on "Looking Oh So Cool," which I've talked about. But you also have another song out there with your lyrics,
I do.
and who tell
Chris Satch. This was another really cool thing that happened.
yeah.
I did an illustration called Whiskey and Milk.
Mm.
And then I created a little poem or a little whatever. I don't know what you call them. They're not, what would you call them? They're not poems. They're not, but they're kind of songs.
They're prosy, lyric,
Prosy,
yeah.
yeah.
They're prosy
That's
and
it.
rosy. I love your stuff.
Prosy and rosy.
There you go.
Yeah, so I did another little prose lyrics, and just through Facebook, this guy, a singer songwriter from Boston, was so excited and enamored with it that he wrote a song for me. And he put it to music. It's just him playing guitar, and it's absolutely beautiful. It was
Oh
it
my
was such
gosh.
a high for me to have that happen because it was a compliment, right? And it
Well,
was out of nowhere.
and it's well deserved. And we're going to put a link to that song when.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also to Look No So Cool, but and also links to Jennifer's artwork. So your artwork, the reason I think we songwriters are attracted to your poetry and to your the way you even text. I mean, the lyrics for my song came out of a text that you gave me, like it was personal and everything. But I went, I need a bridge, and that's a bridge. But it's because you are a storyteller, and I
Yeah.
find that with your. No, we were talking about before a little bit before the this is happening, and it is happening.
This is happening.
It's really happening.
Oh my God.
Anyway, and she's Jennifer. You're wonderful, so don't worry about it. So anyway, talking about Jennifer's husband and her son, Matt, are wonderful artists. Her husband is
Yes.
amazing. We're talking about amazing draftsman.
Yes.
And impeccable work. And of course I'm sort of the crazy painter. I just slap paint onto stuff. And it's just you're kind of between that draftsman, that person who throws the paint, and you tell stories, and you tell stories with your work is. I look at it, and the iconography, the symbolism, everything, and the stories, the characters in your paintings, your drawings are amazing. So how did that come about?
Well, I I grew up sort of always loving picture books.
Oh yeah.
And I loved I remember saying to my dad one day, like, how do you get the pictures in the book? Like, who does that? And he told me that that's an illustrator that does that.
Ah,
So there's a
okay.
writer and an illustrator. So ever since I was little, I always wanted to illustrate books.
And you illustrated some children's
And I did
books.
do a lot of
Yes.
children's books early
Yeah.
in the days. But I did, so I was never, I didn't go the route of a painter. I always went the route of telling stories and illustrating. So people
Right.
would provide me with stories,
Yeah.
and then I would illustrate what that story was. So I think I've always been a storyteller. Like, I just love the idea of bringing pictures to life.
Yeah, yeah. And they do. They're amazing. I mean,
Yeah, and what's cool too is that when I get out of it as well. I mean, it's my fantasy, it's my dream world that I create, right? And when I sit there and I completely kind of go inward, which is a beautiful thing because life is so crazy, right?
Yeah.
So when you can sit in there and you can just go into your own world and create these things, it's like you've been on vacation. It takes you away. It's really special. Like, you know that as a painter, right?
Yeah, that's a beautiful way of putting it. Like that creative process.
Yeah.
Maybe an accountant gets the same joy, tallying up some numbers or something, Like, but when you're doing what you're meant to be doing, what your sole purpose is, because I do believe in sole purpose.
Yeah.
That whatever you're doing, that's right for you. It's going to be right for you. It's going to feel good. It's going to take you to places, very spiritual places. And I think that's very important for people to do.
And what I found out of that though was, it's a very selfish thing, obviously, because you're sitting there and you're doing, well, you're kind of just stuck in your own little world and you're doing what you love and you're telling your stories. But the cool thing is that when I put this new body of work out there, people were coming to me and they were saying like, God, this was my teenage years. Yeah. This was like, I relate to like every woman feels this, right, Jan? Like people were connecting with it and they were kind of relaying it back to their own kind of life experiences, I guess. And that, when I heard that, it made it such a wonderful thing because you were sharing it then, you know?
Yeah. So so you're tapping into, rather than being like I wouldn't say it's selfish. You're tapping into this collective, the universal collective, and I think that's really special, and that's what the creative process really is. I mean, you can teach someone to be an artist or anything, but when you take yourself and put yourself into it, and you're not afraid to be yourself, that's really important too. Like when you're expressing your art, don't you find?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, because it's scary. You got to put your art out there, and it's like, oh, I don't like it. What's going to happen here? And,
yeah. I mean, that's always the hard part when you're sitting there, and you have that beautiful kind of luxury. I guess I call it a luxury because you can sit in your own space. You can create your own work, and no one's bothering you, and it's just the best feeling in the world, right? But then when you got to put it out there, and you get the people saying, oh my God, that sucks. I hate that.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Or you're getting somebody that you're having to do a job for.
Oh yeah.
And then that becomes a very different thing as well, because now you're just using your skills to create what somebody else is asking you to do. And you're trying to keep a little bit of who you are and your style in it.
Well, because they've come to you because they like your style.
Yes, exactly.
So it's like and it's really, I find the same thing. Like, if I'm doing a piece of artwork, it's like I'll go into a gallery. There's a gallery in our area, beautiful gallery. But I think their art is so like clean and pristine, and it's like an interior decorator would say, yes, I'd like that piece for this and that and the other. I'm thinking they'll never say that about my artwork, and it's like, but then the temptation to become what I call commercial and do what you think people will want over their couch.
Right.
Or in there hanging, or that's very real, and it's hard to break away from that.
Yeah.
And actually do what is you. Yeah,
because the other part of it is, if you're doing it as a career, you have to make money at it too.
You do.
So,
well, yeah.
So there's part of it where you do have to consider. Is this something that somebody's going to really want to buy? Is this something that they're going to really want to hang over their couch? Like, there is part of that, right? Because you're not doing it just as a hobby. You're, or I'm not. I mean, it's been a career since I was in my 20s. So, but I started in, I started in advertising. So we learned how to sort of do work.
Do you have any more coffee left?
Yeah, no. My coffee, thank you. Look at my nice little mug. This is like a mug I would draw.
This is a very nice studio.
This is upscale.
It
You get all the little perks.
And homemade biscotti.
Oh, I know. I ate that already. So anyway, I had a lot of training to be able to make things for people, and deadlines and all that kind of stuff as well. So that gave me a good ground.
Well,
to get things
okay.
done.
Well, okay. And you did have one of your pieces on a billboard in Times Square.
Yes, that was pretty.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even know it was there until I went to New York, and I went to Times Square, and we looked at, I was with Vince, and we looked up, and I went, oh my God,
That looks familiar.
That's familiar. It's mine. Yeah, that was fun.
That is so
pretty
amazing,
yeah.
you know, and it wasn't a Calvin Klein guy.
No, damn.
No underwear ad for
No.
you. That's not you, Jen.
That
No,
was
no,
not
no,
me.
not you.
But,
Oh my God,
yeah.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's amazing, you know, and that's the thing when so somebody said, yeah, I love Jennifer Herbert's art, and that's, you know,
Yeah.
so it's really important to do. We need to do that, and I'm happy that you're here. I'm trying not to make these videos too long because we have just
we could talk
talking.
forever.
We have just singing, right?
Is it time to sing? I don't sing. Harmony? You might know
What do you mean you don't sing? I didn't even plan to sing today.
I would love you to teach me to sing.
Okay, we can do that right now. Okay. So, this is what I say about singing, everyone, is that singing is funny talking and dancing is funny walking.
Oh,
So,
that's cute.
It
I
is
like
true.
That's
It's true. So
yeah.
wait, okay. Now, when you talk, you
Yeah.
talk up and down and everything,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know, you have little, and you sure regard. She's a bit Irish, you know. So we're both a bit Irish there in some things. But you know, it's like, you know, you have this. You don't talk like this, but it's funny when people just start to sing. All of a sudden, they lose all up and down, and they get all tight, and they sing from their chest. We don't talk from our chest. We talk from our mask.
Okay.
So all you have to do is just do a little humming. Come on, Jennifer, 'cause for everybody out there, let's hum. Okay, now just talk a little bit
about this
then-
is vibrating in my nose.
Good, it's perfect. You see, is that amazing? So it's like when you're talking, then you just start to sing, and then you just do this, and then elongate a little bit of the sound, and then the bit of the words, and all of a sudden, then you're in opera, and then you're singing something, and say, it's so nice to have Jennifer here today. Yes, it is. Now talk to me.
It's wonderful to be here. Now I feel really weird, but it's a beautiful environment, and I'm happy that I'm singing.
You are.
I am.
You are. You are. Okay, so
now we're gonna let the professional take over.
No, but you know, do you know Doa Deer?
Mm-hmm.
My mother at the Brunswick House. I have to tell the audience, she was a singer at the Brunswick House for 27 years down in the Pickle Alley, which was like a zoo. Okay, but she's got everybody singing Doa Deer, so we're gonna sing Doa Deer today because it's a great song. Okay, so
All right, okay.
Are you comfortable in this? Do. Doa deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself, far a long, long way to run. So a needle pulling thread, la, a note to follow, so tea, a drink of jam and bread, that'll bring us back to do, 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 do. You're great. Look at you singing. Did you hear yourself
no,
singing?
I'm not going to.
Oh, no.
That was fun, though.
It was fun. It was fun. So
Oh.
for anybody who thinks they can't sing, no, everybody's got a sound. Everybody's got a purpose.
Voice.
Everybody's got a voice. And your voice may come out in your art, in your music. If you play I don't play this guitar. It's on the wall. I had intentions, okay? Don't ask me to play the guitar. That's not funny playing. That would be terrible.
You have to get a guitar player over here.
I have to get calluses, and I'm not into the calluses. So anyway, geez, it was so nice having you here. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
it was that was easy, right?
That was easy.
Okay, so thank you everybody for joining me here, Joyce, on Just Talkin', and not just singing, we sang great. And Jennifer, thank you for joining me
Thank
today.
you for having me.
It's been a
cheers.
So we're going to go back to our coffee and biscotti. I'm going to send a whole bunch home with her because I've been losing weight. I feel
You
good.
look gorgeous.
Send it back to the boys.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you. And also I always end off with the answer to all the answers. All the questions. The answers to all the answers. I'd like to answer your answer, by the way. That's my mind. All the questions in the universe, everything. If you have a problem someday, just say 42.
42.
42.
42.
So this is us doing a 30 on a 42. Thanks for joining me.